is level K, list 6, and we're doing the day 1, and we're looking at the silent W in these words. So let's read the words. I've already gone through and highlighted that silent letter. You can do that as we're going through. Just be very careful when you get down to sword, because the W is the second letter. I've highlighted the S to show that, to be aware of it. The W is the second letter that you have to highlight. So we've got rap, ren, ring, wrong, wrist, wreck, right, wrote, whole, sword. Now the silent W is coming before an R in nearly all of these words, so let's highlight that silent, that R that follows the silent W. And here we've got the word whole, so let's get another colour and we'll go back. So we've got an H there and an O here. So let's go back and look at other things in these words that we need to be aware of. We've got that it's a nasally sound that we make when we put the N and the G together. After a short vowel sound, we know we must put CK if it's a one-syllable word. The E on the end here is making that previous vowel I make its long sound. Here the E is making the previous vowel O make its long sound, and here the E is making its previous vowel O make its long sound. Here you've got the OR, OR, and that OR sound. So let's have a look at what these words all mean. You could have a wrap, as in instead of bread you could have like a tortilla looking thing where it's flat and round, where you can wrap food into it. So it could be, wrap could be a noun or a verb. It could also mean when you wrap up a present or wrap up a parcel, you put a covering around it. Now there's another wrap, which means you might have heard of rap music. And also if you knock on a door, you might say you rap on a door. It's continuous knocking on a hard surface. A wren is a little bird. Quite often we see blue wrens. Ring means to twist something. So you might, if you go swimming and your towel gets very wet, or when you've finished swimming, you might wring out your bathers. It means you twist something one way and the other to get the water out of it. Wrong means something is incorrect. Let's put in this other ring before we forget. This ring means a ring on your finger, or it means like a circular thing, a ring. Wrist is that joint just where your arm joins your hand. A wreck is where something is damaged and it's what's left, so there's a wrecked boat there for you, or you could have a car wreck after an accident. Right, now this right means to use a pencil or a pen or something to make symbols on a page, and those symbols are letters and they make words, and then the words go into sentences and then we can read it. There's another right which is spelt like this, so we don't get mixed up. This is when something is correct, or it means your right hand or turn right. So it could be a direction, or it means something is correct. Wrote is the past tense of write. So if you've already done it, we don't say he writed me a letter, you would say he wrote me a letter. So it's an irregular noun in that, irregular verb, in that we don't add the ed to the end of it. Whole, we do have another whole, and that means a hole in the ground or a hole in something. Whereas this whole with the W is indicating the whole thing, the entire thing. A sword is an implement that we might use in fighting. We don't use swords much today unless you're doing fencing as a sport, but in the olden days it was one of the earlier war weapons that people would fight with. Okay, get you a little bit of paper now. We're going to read the word, sound the word, spell the word, and then write it 3 times. So we're going to not sound that W because we know it's a silent letter, but when we spell it, we will be saying it. So we're going to go rap, r-ap, 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 W-R-A-P, W-R-A-P, W-R-A-P. Cover it. write it 3 times and then go back and check that you've done it correctly. If you've made a mistake, rub it out and start again. This is K6 and we're doing the day 2 page where we're introducing the silent W. So let's read these words without the sound at the front of them. We've got wrap, ren, ring, wrong, wrist, wreck, right, wrote, whole, sword. So there's some other things in these words that we also need to have a look at. In ring, we've got the ng sound, as in wrong. You've got the ng making that ng sound at the end. In wreck, we've got a short vowel sound, x, so we know we have to put ck after a short vowel sound. Right, we've got the e making the previous vowel make its long sound I. The same as in wrote, it's making the o say o. And in whole, the e is making the o say a long o sound there. In sword, we've got the or sound, or. So a little bit of revision there for you. Choose another colour and let's go back and highlight the letter that comes after the silent W. So in many of these words, not all of them, but a lot of them, we have an R after the silent W. So you can highlight that R. Okay, and whole and sword don't have an R after them, but you have to remember that they also have that silent W in them. Now some of these words have more than one meaning, but we may spell them differently, as you'll see down there when we get to that section. So let's first of all just go through and read the word, sound the word and spell them. So we've got wrap, W-R-A-P. Don't forget to spell out that silent letter so you remember to write it. Check that you've got them all correct. You'll know from the work we did yesterday that this wrap means to wrap up a present. A wren is a bird. A ring is to twist something. Wrong means something's incorrect. A wrist is that joint that joins your arm to your hand. A wreck means something is damaged and what's left. Write is when we put we make symbols on a page with a pen or a pencil. Wrote means you've already done it. It's past tense of write, so we can't say he writed his name. We'd have to say he wrote his name. Whole means the whole thing, the entire thing. And a sword is an implement that they used to fight with in a long time ago, in days gone by. Today, the only time you'd really see people using swords is if they did fencing as a sport. So let's fill in the blanks with a list word. We will roast a something chicken in the oven. You've got to work out what the best word is for each of these spaces in these sentences. Now down the bottom we've got some homophones that we have to place in the correct position in these sentences. So the teacher is something when they tell you to something neatly. Okay, so your choice in words here is write, write. So this write is when you put pen or pencil to paper. This write is the right side, or when something is correct. This whole means the entire thing. This whole means a gap in the ground or a gap in something. And ring means to twist, this first one with the W. When it's without the W, we have like a ring on your finger or a circular shape. Wrap, this wrap could be where you wrap up a present, whereas this wrap is a type of music, most commonly. Synonyms mean the same, so you've got to find a list word that means incorrect, penned, complete, and twist. This is level K, list 6, and we're doing the day 3. And in this list, we're looking at the silent W in words. So we've got wrap, ren, ring, wrong, wrist, wreck, right, wrote, whole, and sword. So you can see in most of these words that we use we have to write a silent W before an R quite often. So in all these words, it usually appears before an R. And these two are bit different. It's before an H and an O here. So the other things we've got in these words that we need to have a look at is the other sounds that we're revising. So we've got the ng in ring and wrong. It's quite a nasally sound. Ng. We've got short vowel in rec. E is a short vowel, so we have to follow it with the CK. CK always follows a short vowel. Here we've got the E making the previous vowel long in all of these words. And here we've got an R controlled vowel. We've got OR, O-R, which makes a long vowel sound. Okay, so they're the only things in there that we really need to highlight. You can do that as well. And then we're going to read the word, sound the word and spell them, and then we'll go on and look at the page. So we've got wrap, R-A-P, W-R-A-P. You cover it, right, W-R-A-P. And so that's why it's so important to read the word, sound it, because you would leave that sound out when you sound it. But when you spell it, you have to remind yourself to put that letter in so you actually say that letter name. Okay, verb families, we've got wrap, wraps, wrapping, wrapped. Now you're going to have to go through your check to know whether to double the last letter or not. So if wrap is our base word, and we're adding here S, ing, and usually ed, that can differ, like wrung, we don't say I wringed out the washing, you'd say I wrung out the washing. So we've got wrap, so wraps, wrapping. Now because this is not a vowel suffix, we're not going to double that P at the end on any of these, or the last letter on any of these. But when we get to wrapping, we've got a vowel suffix here and here. So then we need to check, is wrap a one-syllable word? Yes. Does it have a short vowel sound? Yes. Does it end with one consonant? Does the base word have one consonant after the short vowel? Yes. Now we've got a vowel suffix as well. That means we've got 4 ticks here. 3 plus 1 is 4. We've got 4 ticks here because ed starts with a vowel. That means when you're doing wrapping and wrapped, you have to double the last letter of the base word. So rec, you've already got 2 consonants at the end, so you're not going to double the last letter when you add ing or ed there. Right, you've got a long vowel sound, so you're not going to double the last letter there. In fact, when you write this one, writes, you could have write, writes, writing. You're not going to say writed. It's an irregular noun, so that means verb, sorry. So you're not going to add the ed. Write, writing. You'd say, I wrote you a letter yesterday, or I wrote you an email yesterday. So it's irregular, it doesn't follow that normal pattern of adding the ed. Now when you get to ring, you've got ring, rings, ringing. Now on ring, you've got 2 letters after the vowel. So that means you're not going to double that last G before you add the ing. Alright, you can finish that on your own, just be careful and thinking while you do it. Make new words and use them in sentences. Whole meal, so you'd write the word there and you might write the sentence, whatever you like. I prefer to eat wholemeal bread, or something like that. Whatever you like, you can write as your sentences, as long as they make sense. And don't forget to put the 2 parts of the word together on the shorter line first. Proofreading, you have to find which word is incorrect in the sentences. He ate the whole apple. She will wring out the washing. He wrote a story. So circle or highlight the word that's incorrect and then write it down correctly on this side. This is level K, list 6, and we're doing the day 4 page. Then we're talking about modal verbs today. So modal verbs show if we believe something is certain, probable, or possible. So you've got to ask that question before you choose which word you're going to use, which form. So can, could, will, would, shall, should. So they're quite different in meaning. Circle the modal verbs in these sentences. Fill in the dependent clause, which is this last bit here. And then ask a question using the modal verb. So we've got, can I go to the park, Mum? So the sentence was, I have finished my homework, now I can go to the park. Okay, and then you go to your parent and you'd say, can I go to the park, Mum? So the next one is, if I clean my room, you could put whatever you like there. I'm thinking I could go and ride my bike, but then you might have to ask permission. Could I ride my bike now, Dad? Would be the question you could ask if you had that sentence, but you can make up your own. You can read the rest of these, finish off the sentence, and then ask the question depending on what you've written in that sentence.